safe, big, far and wide.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to the Whiskey Chaser channel. As you can see, all the bar stools are up in the bar because it's closing time, and that only means one thing for me, which is I am leaving New York City and riding to Florida. Once again, it's been 5 months, and the Forgotten Angels campout is happening, number 3, and your boy is going. Parker's here, and she's not very happy about me going. No, she wants to go herself, but alas, it did not work out this time. So it's just a Whiskey Chaser solo on the road once again. Let's get to it.
All right, here we go. Headed out from New York City. Probably not going to do a whole lot of recording at the beginning of this trip because, I mean, it's dark out. There's really not going to be much to see. It's going to be kind of whatever. But I did want to jump on real quick here up at the beginning and just answer a couple of questions. Yes, I am doing this again. Yes, I am going to bust ass and go as far as possible, weather pending. And yes, we are going to try to do an iron butt. From what I understand, the best thing to do is to take pictures with your odometer and the gas receipt right next to it, and then save those receipts. And then also, I'll be doing my ride program dealio, the Relive ride program, and I'll have that proof as well. All right, first gas stop. Go ahead and get that. Hopefully that will be good enough for the iron butt guys, which I think it should be. All right, so that's number 1. We are sitting at 17,660. So sometimes these odometers obviously don't run completely correct. In addition to a map that I have, I will also be running the Relive app, which should give a pretty accurate readout of the entire ride. Oh man, I can't believe that I'm gonna do this again. It was hell last time. Why the hell not, right? So last time, if you watched my video, I met up with a bunch of people on the way down. Just outside of Philadelphia, I met up with Evil Penguin. And then through Virginia, I met some people through North Carolina, South Carolina, all that good stuff. And then we all met up in Atlanta with some more people, remote coders and the boys, out in Minnesota, Montana, I think Missouri, somewhere around there. It's a state that starts with an M. And they all came down and met us in Atlanta. And then we all rolled down together. This time I am not doing such. I am going to be riding solo the whole way. We got 1,000 miles. And we got to do it by 1 a.m. Thursday, March 17th, 2022. Let's do it. Oh man, this is going to be shit. Woo! It's cold, man. One thing I always forget about leaving New York is that we live on the other side of a freaking mountain. A whole range of them. And I got to go over the mountains in order to get to where I need to go. Oh, it's cold. Just hit my first 100 miles. Woo. I'm freezing. Alright, check in later. Oh boy, another 120 miles down. Sitting at 240 right now. 30 miles outside of Winchester, Virginia. It's 5:20 in the morning, which means it's almost 6, which means it's almost 7, which means the sun will be coming up in the next couple hours. I think I'm gonna give myself a hernia from freaking my legs flexing and I'm shaking so bad. I'm freezing, man. There's snow on the ground out here. Why do I do these things? Stupid. Just about to pass Winchester, Virginia. If you guys remember in my video in May when I went to Dallas for Get On MotoFest, I stopped in Winchester my first night. It's crazy to think that not even a year ago, I went from New York down through Virginia and stopped in Winchester on my first night on my 4-day trip out to Texas. And today, in March of 2022, I literally have passed Winchester, Virginia before the sun even came up. It's just crazy. My, how the time flies. Alright, so we have 334 miles to go until our junction out in Tennessee. And we're going to swap down onto, I don't know what highway it is, but we're going to head down to Atlanta. Probably going to see a little bit of rain on the way, but at least it'll be warmer. As you can see, it is starting to get light out. Sunrise is happening right now, which is fantastic because I was literally freezing my ass off. It was bad. I was going 70 miles an hour in 38 degree weather, and I was dying. Pulled over, chilled for a bit, let the sun come up, and warmed up, and I think we're a little bit better off now because it was bad. It was real bad. It still is pretty freaking chilly. Holy crap, man. I am finally about, I think maybe 10 miles, 9 miles from Roanoke, Virginia. I don't know what the deal is right now. Why is everything so cold? But we're 10 miles, 8 miles. I just saw a sign from Roanoke, Virginia. We're sitting at 441.8 miles so far on the trip, which means we are almost at the halfway point. It is 9:17, which means I'm on pace for about 9 hours and 30 minutes, 9 hours and 45 minutes, if I didn't have to stop and get gas. Unfortunately, I do, so that will add a little bit of time. But it's looking like if we can stay on this pace, which I don't know how well that's going to work out, but if I can, I should be able to bust this out in the early evening sometime. Yeah, that all depends on the rain. That all depends on how long I stop. All I've had to eat today was a bacon and egg biscuit, so I'll probably want to get some food. I know that it's about 900 miles to Atlanta, so all I'll have to do is hit Atlanta, hit another 100 miles after that, and then we'll be good to go. Oh boy! Riding motorcycles. Yes! Alright, just hit 500 miles. So we're officially at the halfway point for our Iron Butt Challenge. That is according to this odometer, which could be a little off. So that is what this says. I am not sure what the GPS says yet. I do still have it running. This is the rain cloud that I was kind of worried about. We are underneath it right now. As we were pulling out of Roanoke, I could definitely see the big spiral of this rain cloud that's like a 400-mile wide rain cloud that is absolutely going to dump on North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Well, actually, I'm starting to get a couple of little drops right now on the face shield. So here's hoping that it's nothing too bad. I mean, there's not much I can do except pull over, but I really don't want to because I only have a couple hours of leeway on this challenge. Rain is so bad for this bike. I mean, rain is kind of bad for all bikes, but rain is especially bad for this one with the exposed intake. I'm going to try to take it easy. We're going to see what happens. That's it. Also, I don't know what the deal is, but I keep seeing all these motorcycles on the other side of the freeway coming this way, and I don't see any going south. And I'm like, did you not get the memo that this was campout weekend, bro? Like, where you going? You're going the wrong direction. Turn around. Follow me. I will get you there. Don't worry. So I was driving along the highway and I saw a sign that said world's largest knife store, and I was intrigued. I had a little bit of spare time, I guess, that I could go and check out the world's largest knife store, and I found this Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And dude, that thing was like the biggest the biggest store I've ever seen. It had like 4 floors full of every different manufacturer of knife. Like, they were not joking when they said it was the world's biggest knife store. That was crazy how big that was. I did end up getting another knife. I got a Kershaw. I love Kershaws. I have 2 already. Yeah, they're both just Kershaws. I just really like them, and so I got a third Kershaw. It was not only on sale, but it was a Kershaw made exclusively for them, for that store. So that's pretty neat too. Definitely worth like the 3-mile detour and the 20 minutes that I spent walking around in there, because that was insane. If I come back to Knoxville, actually we are coming back to Knoxville. Well, we're going to Gatlinburg, but Gatlinburg is not far from Knoxville. If we have time, I definitely want to bring Parker down here. They had some knives in there that were like $750. Several, like a whole case of them was $300. And then they had ones in there that were obviously like, you know, $5 and stuff like that. And you pick them up and you can tell that they're $5. So I would have filmed inside, I really wanted to, but they actually had a sign on the front that said like no cameras allowed, like no flash photography and blah blah blah, like all that kind of stuff. So I really didn't want to push my luck. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, we are right outside of Knoxville, a couple of miles. It's finally nice enough that I could change back into my good gloves. But now I'm like completely decked out in my freaking Live Fast stuff, man. Like, I got my Live Fast gloves, I got my vest on, I got my hoodie, my waterproof hoodie on. I got my sweatshirt, my regular hoodie back here, strapped to the sissy bar. Yeah, decked out. Oh, also I saw Bud's Gun Shop over there. Bud's Gun Shop, if you don't know, is the sponsor of Hickok 45, who also, I know he lives in Tennessee. So that was cool too. I'm having an exciting day. Like now I'm very happy to be out and doing stuff. And I wish I wasn't on such a time crunch, because now it says it's 11 o'clock because I wasted a bunch of time looking at, you know, the outside of a Bass Pro Shops and Bud's Gun Shop, and then going around and look at all these knives and crap. And I got places to go, I got things to see. I'm a busy guy. I don't need to be wasting time in a knife shop. But it was the world's largest knife shop, and it was pretty cool. So, all right, let's kick it. We are at 685 miles. I did look earlier. This is about 8 or so miles off of what the GPS has detected. The GPS I forgot to set for like 8 miles or something. So this one is probably more correct. I'm not sure, but we'll go by the GPS just because it's the lesser. So when we get to 1,000 here, I'll look on the GPS and I'll see how much more we have, and then I will go that extra amount, and then that'll be it. We'll have our iron, but it's already 4:30 in the afternoon. I wasted so much time. All right, we're at 800 miles. Here comes the exit for Atlanta, 75 south. So we got about another 100 miles into Atlanta, then about 100 miles after that, and challenge will be complete. Achievement unlocked. Almost. We gotta get there first. Welcome to Georgia. Boom. Last state that we're gonna visit in this video, I mean, I guess. So we went from New York to Jersey, Philadelphia, very, very shortly through Maryland, like 20 miles through Maryland, down into West Virginia, into Virginia, Tennessee, and then just left Tennessee to hit Georgia, and yeah, we're almost there. Almost there. Oh my gosh. This is a freaking nightmare. Trying to wait for an opening to run out there and jump on the bike so these freaking trucks don't run me over. Bust out this last couple 100 miles, 130 miles. Get that done. And then find a freaking motel to go to sleep in because I've been up since, God, when did I get up? 12 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. We're gonna get through this. Hopefully it'll be pretty quick. And we should have just one more gas stop before we get to our 1,000-mile mark, which we definitely should do. It's only 8:15, so another 130 miles is about 2 hours, 9, 10, 15. It's well under the time we left, which was 12:59. Well, time I started, which was 12:59. So this should be a pretty achievable, easy goal. All right, so made it to Atlanta, 910 miles. Did it in a shorter amount of time than last time and took a longer route. Not much shorter because of the rain. Thank you, rain. But, you know, it wouldn't be a Whiskey Chaser video without me getting completely soaked in rain. So, there you go. It's official. It's an official Whiskey Chaser video. Alright, so now I'm going to try to navigate through this traffic, which I can barely see because the visor is fogged up, because it's humid, and also there's water being sprayed up into my face. So it's like you can't have the visor up, you can't have the visor down. Both of them just suck. So we have 100... No, less than 100. We have 89 miles. Hopefully they will be a little bit drier. Some of the rain has either gotten off the road or been blown off the road by all these trucks. Man, these trucks kick up so much freaking water. Alright, see you on the other side. Alright everybody, so I don't know how well you can see all this due to it being nighttime and it's a little blurry, a little foggy. I know that you can't see anything out there. You can see it about as well as I can, which is terrible, especially with all the crap on this visor. And this camera just doesn't really pick up at night, but maybe you can see here. So coming up on this is a GPS right here that I've been running. It's called Relive. It's an app. It uses GPS to track your travel. It's a road distance travel app. So it is at 991 miles right now. And what's interesting is I use this because the odometer on metric bikes, when it comes to miles, is usually not all that accurate because kilometers is what most of the rest of the world uses. So looking at it though, it's only off by about maybe 8 to 9%, which is really interesting to me. This is 992 point, like this is 991.7. So you can see it's very, very close. And I just found that really interesting, number one, because you know, most metric bikes are a little bit off on mileage anyway, and then also I have the 31 tooth pulley on this, which throws off the rotation of what the factory pulley is, so it would be a little bit different. Very interesting to see that that's the dynamic I have going on here, and I'm actually kind of pleased about that. Gives a very accurate representation of the mileage that I have on this motorcycle. So first thing I want to say is thank you for joining me on this trip. It's been a pain in my ass, but it's been great. Thank you for supporting the channel, and please don't click off of this video because I have more that I'm going to discuss after this. So if you're here just to watch this, like fine, whatever, but if you're here to watch some more stuff, don't click off after this is over because this is not the end of the video when we hit this 1,000-mile mark. But I just wanted to bring you in for this. We're at almost 21 hours exactly, and we're coming up on 30 seconds from 21 hours. I'm super excited about this because the 880 miles from New York to Atlanta, Georgia that we did last year in October for the other Forgotten Angels campout was super rigorous and super tough, and it was the longest one I've ever done. literally a pain in my butt. Like, my thighs were on fire, and my whole body hurt by the time we got to this hotel in Atlanta, and I was just so done. And then I had to wake up the next day and go from Atlanta to Tampa, which is another 8-hour ride. It was just intense. It was so intense. It was so, not horrible, because it was a lot of fun, but it just hurt a lot. And I wanted to talk about me riding solo. Obviously, I did this much faster than last time, because last time we did 880 miles in 22 hours from New York to Atlanta. And the reason why it took so long is because I was in that group. Now, I loved being in that group. Those guys were awesome. They were great riders. They were great hangs, great people to be with. And it was a lot of fun doing that. But when you do have a large group like that, you lose momentum every time you stop. So if you want to do something like this, if you want to challenge yourself to do an iron butt or a 1500 or whatever, you can do it either with somebody or not. You're going to have to make those decisions yourself, and you're going to have to work with what you know and how you can continue forward to make sure that you get this done in the proper amount of time. We can all inspire each other to get out there and challenge ourselves to these big, huge rides like this. I'm super excited that I'm able to go from a 500-mile ride last year. That was my biggest ride. I think it was 550 miles or maybe 560 to I'm about to hit 1,000, and that's less than a year I worked up to that. And I'm just super, super happy about it. I'm super jacked up, and I wanted you all to be here with me to enjoy this occasion. This was probably one of the biggest challenges that I've ever done in my entire life. It definitely is the biggest challenge I've done in my motorcycle riding life. So I just want to hear what people's thoughts and opinions are. Was it good content? Was it fun? Did I make you laugh? Did you feel bad for me? By the way, it's cold again. Unsurprising. Such is my life. I'm starting to get really, really, really chilly again. So this is awesome. I went through rain, and I went through the cold, and I have not slept since 12 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and it is 10:21 now. I have been riding this motorcycle for 21 hours, and we are about to hit, right now, 1,000 miles on the Yamaha Bolt from New York City almost all the way through Georgia. Like, I know it's weird to say like you're proud of yourself, but I feel really proud of myself for doing this, and I feel that I've just really taken huge leaps forward in my own personal abilities as a motorcyclist, as a driver, just as somebody who can endure this task and make it happen. So here we go. We're at 999.1.2 coming up right here. Looks like we're going to be just over 21 hours in 5 minutes, maybe right in the middle of like 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Give me your guess in the comments of what you think it's going to be. You better hurry, because it's about to happen right now. I'm guessing 5 minutes and 27 seconds. No, it's going to be faster than that. It's going to be 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Here we go. We have 9 and 1,000. That was 6 seconds. I was way off, but look at that, 1,000 miles in 21 hours and 5 minutes. And I could not have done this without every single person who has subscribed to the channel, and every person who has followed me on Instagram, who has bought stickers, who has made a donation, who has just been there to offer advice to me, to watch videos, to comment, to like everything. Every single person here is a part of the reason why I chose to do this. So I want every person to give themselves like a pat on the back or a round of applause or just what. Because if it weren't for you, the people who are watching this and listening to me right now, I never would have done this. I never in my life would have done this. And I'm so happy to be part of this community and just to have friends and followers and subscribers like you who all are just so cool and who push me to do this kind of stuff. I did 1,000 miles today. Now, I'm not gonna stop this timer, and the reason I'm not gonna stop it is because we are so close to Florida at this point. I can make Florida in less than 24 hours. I have 3 hours left, and the Florida line is only like 2.5 maybe hours away. So I have a little bit of leeway. It's gonna be close because I am gonna have to stop and get gas again because I don't have enough to be able to make it the remaining miles to the Florida-Georgia border. But we're gonna do it. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want you to click off this video, because I want you guys to be able to be here when I go from New York City to Florida in one day. 24 hours. And we're gonna make it happen. So I went ahead and I set it up here in my GPS. I'm gonna leave that on the background. So I have 2 hours and 8 minutes, 151 miles. It says I'm gonna be there about 12:33, which will be under that 24-hour mark by a good long shot. So let's freaking do it, man. I'm excited. I'm jacked up. I think I deserve this. I think I deserve to see Florida today. I mean, I was gonna see Florida today anyway after I went to sleep and woke up, but I feel like I deserve to see Florida within the 24-hour time period of when I left New York City, and I'm gonna make it happen, so let's do it. All right, well, it took about a second for you, and it took about 2.5 hours for me, but I'm finally coming up to the Florida border. We're sitting at 23 hours and 14 minutes, 1,151 miles, New York City to Florida. Should be coming up here pretty soon. Let's see if we can catch that sign. Don't exactly know if you'll be able to see it. I should be able to at least make it out, point it out. Oh, I see it. It's lit up like a beacon. Here we go. 23 hours, 15 minutes on the dot. Florida state line.
Welcome to Florida.
Welcome to Florida. Boom. Holy crap. I can't believe I actually did that. That was absolutely exhausting. I'm gonna find a room, get some sleep, and I'll see everybody tomorrow at the compound.
All right, everybody, here at the Forgotten Angels campout, finally. Oh man, what a hell of a drive. So I ended up hitting about 1,408 miles on my way down, and it was brutal and it was hard, but totally worth it. Like, this is why I like doing these things, because it's just so rewarding to me to be able to say that I did stuff like this. And already there are so many people. You can see there's not really a lot of people. Like tomorrow it's gonna fill up like crazy, but so many people have come up to me and been like, man, I can't believe you just did that. Like, did you get an iron butt? And I'm like, yeah. And also, I got to Florida from New York City in less than 24 hours. I went through freezing rain. I went through just the coldest weather I've almost been through, and all kinds of shit. And look, we're here. We did it. We're gonna have a good time this weekend. So my suggestion is you should do this, and do it at your own pace. Go a long distance, but you don't necessarily have to do a 1,100 mile trip in 24 hours, but you can do it. You can do a long distance. It doesn't matter what kind of bike you got. Like, you can do it on a Sportster. I've seen guys do it on a Sportster. I just did it on the Bolt. That's a 950. It's nothing crazy. Like, I got that bike super cheap, and I put some mods on it. Sure, you know, made it a little bit more comfortable, but I mean, essentially, it's not super difficult to do. You can do it. I believe in you. Please let me know And also, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and leave me a like and a comment. Let me know what kind of bike you got, if you want to do this, if this sounds like something you'd be interested in. Please come down here to the Forgotten Angels camp out next October and forever until they decide not to do it anymore. And look, all the boys back there. I got Biker Babe Beth and Jess, her two wheels, Shade Tree Surgeon. Like, we all just hang out. This is such a good time, and it's awesome. We're having so much fun, and I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I made it, and I'm proud of my accomplishments. And I think that I should be proud of your accomplishments, and you should be proud of your accomplishments. And if you don't have the biggest bike, it's okay. You can still do this. So thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Cheers. We'll see you in the next one.